Hey, Jay. I can always count on you jumping on. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, everybody. Hi. Hello. Happy Sunday. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Miss Pat. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Sunday, you guys. Huh? Destin say I got my brace. Yeah, I took a picture earlier. Someone came by and bought 4 books. And they posted the picture I took. I look like a broke down fake Indian. So I was like, oh Lord, let me put my little new hat I just got from Cynthia Boutique. I said I needed to put it on. So I don't want to take my hair down. All right, you guys, I am at the magic number of 10, and you know what I do when I get to 10. I get started talking because I want to give you back the rest of your Sunday, because we know Monday through Friday can be quite interesting for us all. Oh my goodness, the Rev. Hey, Pastor Grogan. Okay, so you all know how God has already fussed at me and instructed me to start this off. I'm at 17. I'm at 16. Let's get started. If you guys will bow your heads, close your eyes for a moment of prayer. I come, Heavenly Father, thanking you for this moment, oh God. I thank you for life, health, and strength, oh God. I ask, oh God, that you would forgive me for my sins, Father, so that you may use me, oh God. That you will use me to say only what you would have me to say, oh God. I ask that you would open up the heart, minds, and souls of those that will hear my message on tonight, oh God. Those that will hear it now, and for those who will hear the replay, oh God. I pray that it would have the same power, the same purpose that it will have when I say it at this very moment, oh God. I ask, oh God, that you would cover each and every concern that anyone that's listening to me may have, oh God. I ask that you would bless them in a mighty way, oh God. I ask that you would allow them to feel your presence, Heavenly God. Heavenly Father, we come, God, asking that you would continue to touch those that are struggling with the virus, oh God. I know we have a loved one in the hospital, Father, Adrian Tissano, and we just continue to lift his name up to you, God. We thank you for the praise report on today, oh God, and we're just looking forward to all that you're going to do in and through Adrian's life, oh God, and all the rest of the people that are suffering with the virus, whether it be at home or in the hospital, Father God. We ask that you would touch, intercede, do what you do best, oh God. And so if you would be so kind, oh God, as to use me as only you can in this hour, I promise to give you all the praise, honor, and glory that you rightfully deserve. And it's in Jesus' perfect name that I lift up this prayer. Amen. All right. Hello again, everybody. And so I've prayed. My disclaimer again, as usual, every Sunday is I'm not here. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a prophetess. I'm not any of those things. I'm just a simple soul on an assignment from God. Again, I'm going to say every Sunday, I complained to God so much about me not getting help from others as I was going along on my journey. He said very clearly to me that, well, then you be the help that the generation behind you needs. So I'm here every Sunday at 6 o'clock on my Soul Searching Sunday segment to do whatever it is God is telling me to do until he says to do otherwise. So with that being said, I have a few announcements because guess what, guys? I'm growing. So people have asked me if I would, talk about a few things, but I wanted to start off with talking about yesterday. I went to a women's conference yesterday that my classmate Tess B. Anthony did. And please forgive me, that's her... That's not her married name. I can't think of her married name. But anyway, Tess did a women's conference yesterday, and I don't know how this place wasn't packed. Because as much as we're all constantly saying how much we miss church, when you see someone that you pretty much know or trust putting on an actual conference, I don't know how you don't make time to get there. But nevertheless, I was there. I was blessed. It was awesome. I was really disappointed that I had to leave because I had another engagement in Galveston for 1:30. So I got a chance to listen to as many of the speakers as I could, and it was phenomenal. Everything I needed, I got from that conference yesterday morning. And so my question to you is, where are you positioning yourself to be on a daily basis? What are you doing to make sure you're getting the things you need so that you can be a better you to yourself, a better you to your family, a better you to our community, and definitely a better you to the world and to heaven so that we can get there. Then I left and I went to LaWanda Ward's event. I was being honored as one of the 50 women, and we got an award from the mayor of Galveston, and that was nice. I thank her from the bottom of my heart. I thank the lady who actually said that I was worthy of the honor. I don't remember her name, but I'm thankful to her. But again, another awesome event, and I hope that she will continue to do that event again. It was awesome. It was all different Black people with their small businesses out there promoting their businesses. A lot of artwork. It was called an artwork. So there were a lot of people out there with artwork, but there, of course, were people that are selling purses, barbecuing, jewelry. It was a little bit of everything out there. It was really, really, really nice. So hats off to LaWanda, because you did an awesome job in bringing something good to the community on yesterday. And so I ask that God will continue to bless you and give you what you need to stand strong, my sister. So my next announcement is this. My cousin Paul has had the pleasure of being a part of bringing this concert to Galveston. It's called One Hope Experience. And Kelly Price, I don't know how many of you all are familiar with her. I don't know how you could not be familiar with her, but maybe you're not. You should go on YouTube and listen to some of her music, and I promise you, you will be inspired. She's giving a concert at Moody Gardens on March the 20th at 6 o'clock. I don't have the details on all the different prices of the tickets, but you can go to ticketstrike.com/1NE Hope Experience. And I'm sure they have all the information about the tickets out there. I'm going to be there. Actually, I'm going to be helping. Anytime my cousin Paul is doing something, I always try to make myself available to him, because he's really trying to do what thus said the Lord for him. So with that being said, the last announcement before I get started with my Soul Searching Sunday segment is God has told me to do a masterclass. So for you all that are very serious about really having some intimate time with me, I will be doing a master's class in April. I'll be coming with more details in the days ahead. But if you like the little bit of stuff I'm giving you here on Sunday, I promise you it'll be more intense and more specific and more intimate time with me and you when I do this master class. I'm only taking, I think me and my assistant agreed to either 12 or 15. I can't remember. I know we were going between the number of 12 and 15. I don't remember if we're doing 12, 15, and it may be 10, because I want to be very intimate. I want to talk to you like I talk to my anger management clients. I decided 5 or 6 years ago to stop doing group sessions of anger management, because I love talking to you about exactly why are you sitting in front of me. And that's what I want to give to you all. It will be a class like no other, is what God is reassuring me. So with that being said, oh my goodness, I feel so honored. Donna, if you all are friends and you follow my page and you listened to Donna yesterday singing at the conference that I was at, oh my goodness, you were blessed. This woman has a voice like none other, and to have had the privilege of meeting her, and we've done several plays together. Miss Margie has allowed us to do plays together, and I've always played. I think I'm her daughter in most of them, and I'm always the bad daughter, the one you have to check and get in place. Like, I'm saved, but I still got a little flip mouth, because I always tell Miss Margie she have to give me parts that I play the real me. Okay, so with all of that being said, hey, Don, I love you. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to get started. So what do you think I'm talking about? I'm still on this people, places, and things. But more importantly, today, I'm talking about the fruits of the Spirit. And if I start at the last fruit of the Spirit, it talks about self-control. So I'm asking you, do you have self-control? One of the things I want to read to you is one of the handouts that I give my anger management clients when I'm through teaching them. So it says, the law of the garbage truck. How often do you let other people change your mood? Do you let a bad driver, rude waiter, curt boss, or insensitive employee ruin your day? Unless you're the Terminator, for an instant, you're probably set back on your heels. However, the mark of a successful person is how quickly you can or she can get back to his or her focus on what's important. 5 years ago, I learned this lesson in the back of a taxi cab in Indianapolis, and here's what happened. I hopped in a taxi cab and we took off to the airport. We were driving in the right lane when suddenly a black car jumped out of a parking space right in front of us. My taxi cab driver slammed on his brakes, skidded, and missed the other car by just inches. The driver of the other car whipped his head around and started yelling at us. My taxi cab driver just smiled and waved at the guy. Huh? How many of you all can say you would do that? And I mean, he was really friendly. So I asked, why did you just do that? This guy almost ruined your car and sent both of us to the hospital. This is when my taxi driver taught me what I now call the law of the garbage truck. He explained that many people are like garbage trucks. They run around full of garbage, full of frustration, full of anger, full of disappointment. As their garbage piles up, they need a place to dump it, and sometimes they'll dump it on you. Don't take it personally. Just smile, wave, wish them well, and move on. Don't take their garbage and spread it to other people at work, at home, or on the streets. The bottom line is that successful people do not let garbage trucks take over their day. Life is too short to wake up in the morning with regret. So love the people who treat you right. I hope that's a blessing to you. So what am I trying to say about all of that is stuff still happens. I'm going to keep saying that, like, life is what it is. One of the things I tell my anger management clients all the time is, just for instance, I just had a client. I had 2 clients this week. And y'all know I just kind of let the Lord use me and tell me how to talk. So let me just skip over right quick and tell you this quick praise report. So y'all know I released a book, or we did a pre-sale of the book that's going to be released in March called Affirmations. And I did a quick video talking about my affirmation experience where at the beginning of Corona, I did an interview on the radio station, and it was me and another psychiatrist. And they asked us, how is our business being affected by the coronavirus, with us having to stay in the house all the time. And so the one young lady said that her business was booming. I said my business wasn't moving too much, but also my business doesn't really move that time of the year anyway. But I foresee, keyword, I foresee me having a lot of business once things get back up and running. Went on about my business, and we've been dealing with this a year now, and I'm strolling through my phone looking for something else, and I run across a taped copy of that interview. And so I listen to it because I always first of all, I hate my voice, but I always like to listen to where was my state of mind at one point in time and where it is now. So as I listened to the interview, I got super excited over the fact that I was optimistic about what could happen with my business. I need you all to stay with me, and I hope that you don't miss the nuggets that I'm giving you in this praise report. At that time that I listened to it, nothing had changed. My phone still wasn't ringing much. Hadn't had a client in quite some time with the corona. But I got excited about what I heard out of my mouth on an interview I did almost a year ago. So I go on about my business. I promise you, in less than, I want to say 30 minutes or so, my phone began to ring. What was on the other end of that call? It was somebody, hi, my name is so-and-so. I just got out of court and I received a referral list and your name's on the list, and I want to see if I can possibly take anger management from you. So I talked to that client. Then it was a call and another call and another call. I want you all to know I ran around this house with excitement because it took me to speak it into existence back then and still believe it and get excited about it when I listened to the interview for that phone to ring. That's the type of person God wants us to be in this cycle of life. Life gonna still do what it do. It's still gonna throw stuff at you, but you gotta look for the greater in it. You gotta look for it. It ain't gonna always track you down. It's not gonna always readily be right there. You gotta look for it. And so if I had listened to that interview and got depressed, I promise you, I believe that phone would not have rung. I believe that phone rung because I had just enough Jesus in me to speak positive during the interview. And then when I listened to it, I still thought positive about what was to come. And because of that, what was to come, the phone began to ring. And so now if I go back to what I was saying, when I talk to my clients, I'm always reminding them that while we're doing anger management, please don't be foolish and think that the world is not out there doing what it's designed to do, which is in most cases, chew us up and spit us out. The client that I had, the last one this week, because out of those phone calls, I actually got 2 clients. Thank you, Jesus. So one of my clients, and I asked her permission. She's not my friend on Facebook. She doesn't know me, but I asked her, I told her what I do on Sundays. And I told her, I said, I'm going to be sharing your situation because it's so common. And I really believe, you guys, that God has given me the assignment to help women. Like I can't explain it. I just know that that's my assignment. I have a mentor, another mentor who says that she helps a lot of women and a few lucky men. Well, if you happen to be a lucky man and be on my live, then it's for you too. But I must say, this young lady was a young woman, much like I was back in the day, much like some of you all were. And she did something that was so, I wouldn't do it. I don't even think I would have done it back before I knew of anger management. But I do believe that the type of world we're living in and the generation that we're in right now, a lot of you all young people would do much like what she did. And I need to warn you. She was so thankful for the things that I said because she said that nobody had made her think of the situation from that perspective. So I'm going to give you the situation and then I'm going to tell you all some of the things that I talked to her about what could have possibly went wrong. And all I'm trying to say is you can't change what other people do, but you definitely can stay in control. And that's why I read that law of the garbage truck, because that driver stayed in control of only what he could control. You can't control what other people do. So this young lady says that she's driving with her 2-year-old in the car and someone cuts her off. And she's so upset that they almost hit her that she follows them into the parking lot at the gas station. And she is trying to rolling down her window, trying to let them know, oh my God, you just hit me. So many things wrong with that just by itself. But it gets better or it gets worse. This girl rolls down her window and she's looking in her car. She is so angry. Anger is an emotion. It's real. But I beg you guys, you've got to figure out how to release it in a way that makes sense later on. Because what I'm about to tell you did not make sense. She finds she said a used lotion bottle in her car, on the floor, in the seat, and she throws it at that woman's car. Now, you help me to understand, this is why y'all need to be around the type of people, places, and things, because this happened over a year ago, and still till the day she met me, nobody who she told this story to ever told her the things that I said to her, such as, so you mean to tell me you didn't think it was anything? Because up until talking to me, you know what she said to me? She thought that it was silly that the woman had filed charges on her. She thought it was silly that she was having to take anger management. She thought that it was silly that she was having to deal with something as simple as she threw a lotion bottle at somebody's car. And I'm like, are you serious? So the first thing I asked her is, when you released the lotion bottle, did you watch to see where it landed on the woman's car? She said, yes, it landed on her hood. I said, so most likely it dented her hood. She said, yeah. She said, but she went home and tried to fix it herself, her and her husband, and made it worse. And then she went and got an estimate. and was trying to make me pay for that. And I sat back and I said, help me understand. You don't see how she would have never had to go home and get a plunger or get a husband to come outside and help try to pull the dent out if you had never released your emotion in the wrong way. So I'm stopping long enough right there with the story to ask you all, what situations are you releasing emotions in the wrong way? What are you doing that just don't make no sense in the courtroom or outside the courtroom? It don't make sense on a drunk day why you would get that angry, because what I explained to her is, even this wonderful thing I love about me having my own business, because I get to talk about God. And if they don't have sense enough to ask me those things before they pay me, guess what? You get a whole sermon about Jesus. First clue is the name of my business, Malachi. If you know anything, you know that's the last book in the Old Testament. So that should tell you right there that I'm going to talk about some Jesus. Malachi stands for making a leap and changing history for my business. So now back to the story. So I told her, even then, like, you didn't know if that lady was crazy. You didn't know she had a gun. You didn't know what she was going to do next with her anger. You just thought it was just enough sense in your mind with your 2-year-old in the back to release your anger in that way, not knowing what the other person is going to do. And that's the whole thing with anger, you guys. It's a true emotion. God gave it to every last one of us. In the Bible, Jesus gets angry. But what we do with the emotion is what defines us from right and from wrong. And even without making it spiritual, she was wrong. What in your right mind in this day and time, the way people are, would make you think it was okay to roll the window down and throw a lotion bottle at somebody else's vehicle? She actually blessed that other people didn't get involved, because I actually teach an actual worksheet on people who are reactors. Are you a reactor? Are you someone that gets in other people's business? Are you an actor or a reactor? An actor is a person who independently assesses a situation and determines whether it's any of their business. Reactors are people in life who just jump in stuff, don't know really what's going on. You walk in and it's a fight. You don't even know who right or wrong, but you just start fighting too. You say you're trying to break it up, but you get caught up in it, and then everybody else go home and you the only one in jail. You know how I know? Because I've had clients like that. That's how I learned to create that particular worksheet on being a reactor and an actor in life, because I had clients who would have to come to me because they didn't got involved in some stuff that wasn't none of their business. You at a public place, in a public parking lot, and somebody start fighting, and you find it necessary to intervene in somebody else's mess. So you are a reactor. You react to emotions. One of the examples I like to give is, if you're the type of person who you had a great day at work, drove home, baby, they played the best music ever. Walked in the door and your wife or husband or children or whoever in the house, it might be just the dog. Maybe the dog acting crazy. And because the dog acting crazy, you start acting crazy. You the type of person that take on other people's emotions. You got to ask yourself, are you that type of person? Or do you stay true to the emotions that you have? Like, I had a good day. I'm sorry you didn't have a good day. And so let me go on the other side of the house and mind my business. Or if it's the dog, let me put the dog outside, because I don't know what happened to her today. But hey, I had a good day. You got to own your own stuff. Sometimes you can't so easily let other people take you out of your happiness. Now, it's good for them to take you out of your evilness or your madness or your sadness, but I wouldn't let people just so quickly, and I don't now that I know better, I don't let people so quickly rob me of my happiness. That goes back to those people, places, and things. Like, who are you hanging around that every time you got them kind of friends, every time you talk to them, it's something wrong? They don't never have nothing good to say. They not never happy about anything. That's when you need to check that circle. Is that circle something you still want to be circling in? But anywho, back to my client in this situation. I just couldn't believe that nobody in her circle had giving these examples to her that I was giving to her, like, did you not take and you didn't slow down? Because that's the whole part about emotions, especially when you're upset. You've got to slow down and ask yourself, if what I'm about to say or do, will I be okay with that decision 30 minutes from now when the police show up? A couple of hours from now when I'm in jail and they got to take my child to CPS because I don't have any family around and they can't get in touch with my boyfriend? All that kind of stuff is what I said to her based on her situation. Because I got a little bit of backdrop of, who she was and stuff. So she has no family in town. That was about the craziest thing you should have did. Now, what she should have done was pulled to the side and been like, you could have pulled into the service station too, but I wouldn't have followed her. I'd have pulled to the side to be like, because I've had to do this. I've had to pull over sometimes and just gather myself and be like, oh my God, thank you, God. And did I maybe say a few curse words? I don't know. But just pull yourself together and be like, Lord, thank you. They didn't hit me. Oh my God. Let your emotions relax, because sometimes your heart is racing and you're sweating and all of that. All of those are true feelings. But you still got to be in control of them. You still got to be in control of them, you guys. So all at the most she should have did was pull over to get herself together, not to check somebody else. That's crazy. That person could have just found out their husband left them, or a parent just died, or just found out they got the corona. Let's just keep it real. Maybe they had just read a text message and it said your test is positive. And so it kind of upset them, and they didn't mean to. And let's just throw this in there. They didn't even really mean to cut you off. It was an accident. I don't know how many times, especially now that I done got older, I done had to go, excuse me, sorry. Hey, it happens to the best of us. But the fact that you didn't just pull over and get yourself together, you found the necessity in the situation to go the next step, because you want this person to know you pissed off at them. You want them to know they disrespected you. Now, this is what I asked her, because this is what I asked all of my clients. When you did all of that did you factor in you was going to jail? Did you factor in you was going to have to pay me $150? Because I know good and well you could have found something else you want to do with your money than give it to me. I thank you. But I'm sure as a single mom, you could have found something else to do with your time. Did you factor in that you was going to be having to do a Zoom class with me about anger management? Since you came into the class saying you feel like it's silly, you feel like you don't even know why that was just so silly of her to file charges, huh? That's all I say. I'm really confused why you think that's silly, because I definitely would have too. And you're lucky you found somebody like her who did what she did. Because again, I can't stress enough. It's some crazy people out here, just like you was crazy enough to find that lotion bottle. She could have been crazy enough to pull her gun out. Anything. Or just start ramming your car with her car. Or other people could have got involved because they just witnessed. They didn't see what she did to you on the road, but they seen you throwing a lotion bottle, and so they felt the need to protect her. All kind of things could have went wrong. And so the young lady began to cry because, again, she said nobody in her circle had presented these options, these situations that I'm presenting to her. And so I'm presenting that, I'm using that illustration, but I'm trying to get you guys to see too, like, what are you doing that you're not slowing down and thinking about all the positive possible options? Like, if I do this, what are some of the options that can happen as a result of me doing what I'm about to do? If I say this, what are some of the possible things that can occur as a result of what is about to flow out of my mouth? Because just like you got a flip mouth, the person you're dealing with might got a flip mouth. Matter of fact, mouth may be not just flip, but crazy. Again, you don't know what people dealing with, like anything. They could have just got some really devastating bad news, and so they ain't really caring a whole lot about life right now. I never forget Kayla being in her first year of college, and this was before we let her take her car. I don't even know if she remembered this story, but it was literally within weeks of her attending University of Houston. And I'm watching the news, and they said right down the street from French's Chicken at the red light, the light had turned, and whatever was going on in this car up front, they missed the light. So all the cars behind didn't get a chance to go. So one of the drivers got so angry, He went and knocked on the car, and the car that didn't go, that didn't allow all the other cars to go through. Knocked on that car and was like going off on the man. Da, 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 da. That man let him go back to his car, and then he got out his car and went and shot in his car, and he had 2 children in the back. And I think I don't want to lie, but I almost positive one of the children died, and the driver died. It was like one child that was living. Like, are you serious? So you that mad because you missed the red light that you gonna go knock on a strange car to let them know how pissed you are about a light that you still gotta wait for. I mean, you telling them how you feel is not gonna make the light turn red. It's not gonna make life reverse and say, "Rrr," and make everything okay. And that's my whole thing to you all today. Like, life is what it is, but what are you doing with it? So some of the things that I'm so glad that Facebook is cooperating today, because I got all my little illustrations up here like I had last week, but I wasn't able to do them because I had to go jump in the car. So one of the things that I wrote down in my time with God was things like this: you begging a man, but saying you don't know how to communicate with God. So you know how to communicate. You know how to beg a man, but you don't know how to beg God. Please, Lord, change my heart. Please, God, help me not to be angry and mad all the time. You know how to beg a man not to leave, but you don't know how to beg God to come into your heart. Help me help that make sense. Yep, I'm just saying what I'm saying. And why am I saying that? Because that used to be me. I could cry. Now, I ain't gonna say I beg no man. I ain't gonna go that far. I don't remember. God's gonna have to bring that to my remembrance. But I'm just saying, I'm sitting there crying about a man. I didn't cry. Crying about a man. But, say I don't know how to cry to God. I don't know how to talk to God. The same way you crying, begging that man, putting on his pants leg, saying, don't leave. That's the same way you need to be on your knees, praying, begging God. Please come into my life. Please change the atmosphere, Lord. Please do for me what I can't do for myself. That's the same thing you need to be doing. But you'd rather keep begging that man who just as jacked up as you, or even more so. Let that be the reason. So then I put on here, God helped you out of that, and before you knew it, you had attached yourself to someone else. So sometimes God will get us out of that situation, and then you so used to being in a situation that you will attach yourself to another situation, not realizing it's the same situation. He just dressed a little bit differently. How about that? So he brushed his teeth more than the last guy, or he take out the trash more than the last guy, or he asks about your gas more than the last guy, but he really not meeting the majority of your needs just like the last guy. Come on, somebody. Help me help that make sense. But we do those things. And these are the type of things I wish you guys, somebody had loved me enough, or had got to a healthy, I won't say love because I know people love me. I'll say that I wish they had got to a healthy enough place within their life that they reached back and told me some of the stupid things they did for the sake of saving me. Well, I'm here to disrupt the narrative. I'm here today to tell y'all all the silly, crazy things I did, so you won't just willingly make those same mistakes. You may still do it, but guess what? God gonna remind you that Miss Yvette tried to tell you different at some point in time. So I may be watering the seed. I may be planting the seed. I don't know what phase I'm at. That's not my business. I'm just here to give you what I'm supposed to give you. So then I wrote down too, Satan will bless you with gifts to keep you from the giver. So you'll be like, oh, I just want a man. I just want to be in a relationship. And so Satan will allow a man, I hope y'all see my crazy looking face. He will allow a man to come into your life just to keep you from what God really have for you. You just want a man so bad. You be like, oh, I got a man, and he do this, that, and the third. But none of those things he doing is on your checkoff list. Like, you got this personal list. I hope at some point, that's another thing I wish somebody had taught me about a list. Write down a list of what it is you want. You ain't got to share it with nobody. Won't nobody know but you and Jesus. But be specific. If you want that man to be the kind of man that kiss you a lot or touch on you a lot, whatever it is, y'all need to be specific. I'm trying to help y'all. Help y'all with the stuff that nobody helped me with. Make a list of all that you want. The fountain ain't freeze. I'm just holding right there like I'm serious. Like I heard about a list after it was too late. So make a list of all the things that you desire. And not just about a man, about job, relationship, friendships. Like I learned the hard way how to be a friend. People get mad when they say, like yesterday, somebody told me again something. A family member is upset about me telling the truth. Well, guess what? I'ma still keep calling it what it is. I heard my mom had friends, but I would see my mom talk about her friends to other friends, or maybe talk about friends that she was that we were family to other people. Anyway, I didn't learn how to be a good friend. I thought that's what you're supposed to do. Talk about people, tell one person what the other person said, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I was never, thank God, I don't think my mom was really so much messy, but she definitely wasn't loyal. I'm going to just be truthful. She was not loyal to her friends. She was not loyal to family. When they would tell her things, she would repeat it. And so how do we know to be loyal if we don't see those things? So I ain't see nobody making no list during my time. So I'm telling y'all need to make a list of what it is. Because sometimes these things that Satan is giving you are not gifts. They're just to distract you from the giver, to distract you from what God has for you. I have someone who's about to get into my next collaboration project. And I can't wait to personally hear all of her story, because she has an awesome story about how she prayed and she was specific, and what God sent her was not exactly what she had on the list. So when I go to that, you need to know that your list needs to line up with what God got for you. So you might want to start off praying, asking God, Lord, what do you want me to put on this list? Because let me just tell you, she looked happy. I was about to say one of my mama's sayings, but I think it kind of offends people, so I won't say it. But anyway, she was happy. She was happy. She looks happy inside out. Does that make sense? She looks happy inside out. And she's so thankful her list lined it up with what God wanted for her. She said she had already did all the other things. So then the next thing I have on here is, don't you know if it's a lot of stuff I myself want to speak on, but when God is truly in control. So that's my whole thing. Like, y'all just be posting and saying stuff that y'all just shouldn't be saying. I want y'all to know how many times I be like, and sometimes I be silly with my friends. I be like, or even my daughters, I be like, ooh, I wanted to post something so bad about something I saw somebody said, or something I was thinking, or something. You got to have control. Again, I read y'all the story about the law of the garbage truck. You got to have control in every area of your life. This story was talking about driving, but you got to have control in every area. Some stuff y'all just shouldn't say. Y'all shouldn't post. Because I know when they come up on y'all memory thing, I've read where someone said that when the stuff came up, they were so embarrassed about the things that they had posted. But just have some self-control in what you post. So then I said, what has instinct done for you so far? Because we'll use the word, I had instinct, like I just had a good instinct about him. I had a good instinct about this situation. You better try to have a good understanding, some clean ears as to what God is telling you to do. Because instinct will get you in trouble. Instinct to have you saying, now here I am in another situation dealing with the same stuff. Or here I am again, still not managing my finances any better than I was before because I went off for instinct. We too old. I think everybody on here grown. I don't think I have any children on here. And then most of you all are so grown, y'all got children. So we passed the point of talking about instinct. That's right, Miss Margie, discernment. Y'all need to have discernment. Y'all too old to be talking about your instincts told you to do something. And then I was talking to my sister-in-law today, and she told me about this book that she bought at the bookstore yesterday, and it was titled 5 Things You Should Tell Your Daughter. I was like, wow, I should write a book like that. And God, at that moment, he didn't say, yeah, you should write a book. So I'm just being silly, but I'm serious at the same time. So I'm asking you all, what are 5 things my adult friends that are on here who have adult children like me? My children are, see, we just all had birthdays. So if I'm 53, so Kayla 33 and Jada 28. So I got grown children. What is this? What are some things that I wish I had told my grown children, but it's not too late to tell them? So I'm challenging my older friends who will listen to this video at some time. What are some things you know you should have already talked to your daughters about, but it's not too late? One of the things I like to tell my parents that I deal with is, you're in trouble, but it ain't too late. You're in trouble, but it ain't too late. Like, they may already be doing these things and they probably would not have done them. Maybe if you would have shared your experiences, but share them now so maybe they can come out of them quicker. They won't have to be in the situation so long. So then I wrote on here, a lot of us are sinking and won't call to God because you still want that man to be your savior. You sinking. Like, the bills ain't getting paid, car about to get, you looking out the window every minute, waiting to see if the car's still out there. You hoping and praying the lights on when you get home. Like, the situation is getting worse and worse. You sinking, but you still looking for that man, that little man, to save you out of that situation instead of calling on the Savior. You still saying, I don't know how to pray. I don't know how to talk God. I don't know if I really believe in I'm not a spiritual person. I don't know if I really believe in all this religious stuff. You might want to try. You might want to try it. One of the things my client said was that she wasn't really a religious person, but she was open to hearing. And I say, well, that's a good thing, because most of my stories end with Jesus. And I have a story for almost every situation I talk about. And so just imagine, if I got a story for every situation, and I'm telling you every story end with Jesus. That's why I be joking, but I don't be joking when I tell them, you probably should have asked a few more questions when you called to sign up with me. Because if you ain't never heard about God, you're going to hear about him today. That's the other privilege of owning your own business. One other thing God told me to tell y'all about, those of you all that's trying to open up business, I encourage you to do all of that. But if you can't pay your light bill at your house, how you going to pay a light bill at 2 locations? Yeah, I said that. That was on my board too. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to help y'all with some of the things that nobody helped me with. Like, I love you all enough to tell you the ugly truth, which is one of the things I posted earlier today. Like, walk with me through this process so you don't have to struggle as long as me. You want to be 53 just now, understanding you could have did some things differently? Or you may not even live to get to be where I'm at. I tell people that all the time. It's some people that did some silly things I've done, but didn't live to get to where I was. Now, let me share this with you all. In what my client did was crazy, and I can say, I don't think I'd ever do that anymore. What I did share with her was some stupid stuff I did. So I told her, because I always like my client to know that I'm not perfect. I'm just a few steps ahead of you guys on how to do some things differently in life. And so God always gives me a story. I don't care what they tell me, they're with me for. Because in most cases, let me just say this. In most cases, when my clients come to me about the situation that brought them to the judge or the probation officer, I deal with you in a more wider span. I'm not talking about that one situation. Girl, I go deep. I go in. That's why I'm saying for my masterclass, if you really want us to have a personal situation, if you really want me to open your eyes to some stuff, then I would encourage you to get ready to sign up for my masterclass. But anyway, some of the things that I shared with her that I ain't got no problem sharing with you all, because it's my past. And what you gonna do? Talk about what I used to do? The question is, if what I'm about to tell you, are you still doing it, or are you doing it, or have you thought about doing it? So some of the things I shared with her is, although I ain't never been mad enough to follow nobody after they almost cut me off, what I did do was stupid. I was in a relationship where I would get so angry because, again, that's a true emotion. And because of the type of people in my family who did not properly display their anger, acted out in front of me, when I got grown and my first couple of relationships or whatever. I won't tell y'all which one this was, but I just tell you, we was in a car. Y'all know the little radar thing that they, it used to detect whether or not a policeman was in the area or something, so you wouldn't get a ticket. I think it was called a speeding trap thing or whatever. Anyway, girl, one time, I'm saying girl like it's only women in here, so I don't mean any offense, men. But anyway, one time we was riding. He made me mad. I rolled down the window and snatched that radar and threw it out the window. Now, what God reminded me when I was sharing with my client was, although I didn't throw a lotion bottle out, hell, when I threw that radar out the window, it could have hit somebody's car. So I was just as crazy as her at one time. But like I told her, they didn't have anger management and all these different things during my time. And then people were not as angry. But I could have went to jail. Let me tell you what else I told her. Oh, I told her about the time when he made me mad. And so I'm going to show him. He stopped at the stop sign, and I called myself going to jump out the car because in my mind, the car not rolling that fast when you first take off from a stop sign. So I jumped out. And, yeah. Thank God I don't have no scars to prove it. Like, my legs was messed up then. But thank God I didn't leave any battle scars as evidence. But yeah, I jumped out of a rolling car one time because I wanted to show him how mad I was. Now, how crazy is that? Or I have snatched jewelry off of guys. You mad? This was back when they used to have what was some necklaces? I forgot what they was called. I can't think of the name of them. But anyway, he had a nice necklace on, baby. And I snatched that necklace right on off. And slung it out the window. I sure did. It's a glass, so I can't hardly see y'all. My curtain won't act right. Okay, so, yeah. So, if you around here doing crazy things, and then this is the thing I asked her also. Like, your daughter, you don't think that your daughter, if you keep doing things like this, because of course she swore up and down she had never done anything like that before. She had never acted out that way before. And I was like, don't nobody know if you lying but you and Jesus. But okay. So I told her, I said, now, if a few years from now, or even not in a few years, because the little girl already 2, if she acting out at daycare and haul off and throw something at somebody, or while you driving, she rolled down the back window and throw something out. Don't look at that baby crazy and ask her why she did that. Because most likely it will be as a result of what she saw you do. 90% of what our children will do, that's why I tell y'all, I'm going to say it over and over. When you see Kayla and Jada doing something good, that's me. When you see them doing something bad, that's me. When you see them doing something indifferent, that's me. I claim all of them. Because I know a majority of their personality and behavior in some cases came from me. Now, some of this stuff did come from the other sides. But I take ownership in all of it, especially in the relationship area. I always take it personal when you're talking about relationships with my children because I feel like I failed them big time. Like, I was not submissive at all. I was mouthy. I was the kind of girl that if you clown me or if I feel like you disrespect me in public, I clowned you in public. And mind you, the children was standing right there. So if you doing that kind of foolishness, stop. Because then when your children get to doing it, you going to want to be embarrassed or you just going to be saying, I don't know why they acting like that. Yeah, you know why. I was fortunate enough that my children didn't go to school and act out. But if they had, I wouldn't have had no reason to stand there and look crazy and say, I don't know why they acting like that. Because again, I think I mentioned to you all, I used to get mad because when I would go to Walmart, they didn't still have the picture frames that I tore up last Saturday. Now, help that make sense. Help me help that make sense. I like my house. Decorated, real nice picture frames. You know, some of them fairly expensive. But I get mad at you and I throw the picture frame. Then I want to put my house back together and I'm mad at Walmart because they don't have the same picture frames I just tore up. Help me help that make sense. I'm not going to be on here long. That's all I really had for you all tonight. But again, I'm talking about self-control. I'm dealing with the fruits of the spirit. And I decided to stop at the bottom, start at the bottom, because the last one on the list I printed off talks about self-control. Do you have self-control? Are you displaying self-control so that your children and those around you, maybe you don't have children, your nieces, your nephews, or even as a teacher. I think I have some teachers on here. So if however you're acting in the classroom, you can control the atmosphere of that classroom. So if you acting all having a whole fit on live, or if those of you all that are teaching your children on live and you having a whole fit and a meltdown live with the children doing the Zoom or however it is y'all teach them, then what do you think that they're going to learn to do? They don't just pick up stuff from home. They pick it up from wherever they spend the majority of their time. I've had parents that literally tell me, I promise you, Miss Yvette, I don't act like that at home. So then I say to them, then where is your child spending the majority of their time? Because wherever you're letting them spend the majority of their time is where they're picking their behavior up. So if they at grandma's house, and grandma got Uncle Bobby still staying there, Uncle Tutu, and Aunt so-and-so, and they over there with all their foolishness, then that's why your child is acting like that, because you're allowing them to be in an unhealthy atmosphere. But you still responsible. I love you guys. I hope that I've been a blessing. Again, don't forget about looking into the concert on March 20th, I think. I don't know. I didn't move so much around. I don't even know. Let me see. Yeah, March 20th. Don't forget. Concert, Moody Gardens. Kelly Price is going to be an awesome concert. If you go on Paul Kerrville's page, there's actually, and I'll read, I think it's on my page too, because I think he attached it, tagged me in it, but she actually has like a little video where she's talking to us in Galveston, telling us that she's looking forward to coming and being a blessing to us. So I'm about to turn back your evening over to you. I hope you again know that today is Sunday, which is the first day of the week. I hope you started your day off on a good note. I hope that you listened to some word of God. I hope that you prepare yourself now for whatever the world will give you on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I'll see you next Sunday at 6 o'clock for Soul Searching Sunday. I love you guys from all the healthy places in my heart. Thank you for joining me. Please, 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 if you've not already subscribed to my page on YouTube, I ask you to please go subscribe. Please like my videos and then tell someone about it. Make it a magnificent week. I love you again from all the healthy places in my heart. Good night.